Hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. So today I bring you a Falconer. After the meme Spear Falconer, we went into the meme Staff Falconer. And it's a nightmare to gear! So this is the character I have killed Labyrinth with. Currently at level 91. We got ourselves a pretty decent Jasper. A Titan Heart with reduced damage taken. Bonus crit. Bone Clamor with intelligence. And a bit of wide res. A Bleeding Heart because it increased crit chance. Because it didn't get melee leech on the Falcon Fist, which is what he wanted. On attack speed and leech there. So he wouldn't have to go towards a Bleeding Heart, so we would be able to just use an Exalted Jade. More useful stuff. But well, we had to deal with this. Here we have an Exalted Opal Ring with Dexterity and Int. We have a Viper Tail with boost bonus from critical and health. Siphon of Anguish with Dexterity and Fizz Res. Kinda wanted to get intelligence there, but this is what it is. And then the Foot of the Mountain, which is one of the linchpins of our defenses. So we can pretty much cover our whole HP with Endurance Threshold. And then we have some ancient coins. They're not ideal. Ideally, we'd want a T7 Cinder Strike, and then a good implicit of crit chance, along with another crit chance. But the stats are more or less what we want. So, this is our skill setup. We're using Cinder Strike as our main hit. We go for the damage. We go for the attack speed on second and third hits because we're using it without the overexertion node. And we go for the crit multiplier. Here we grab the ignite and we try to stack as much as outing as possible because we don't have too much increased fire damage, so this is a very good damage increase. And here, free fire penetration. That's it. So, yeah. Shift, we went into Shadow Cascade. You don't really need to. I like having Shadow Cascade. That's it. You don't really need to go towards Shadow Cascade. These though are important, especially elusive. Really important because when we're moving we're vulnerable, so the extra dodge chance is very useful. And then we just go with Parting Gifts because we are using this combo here of Explosive Trap applied on melee, then dropping another trap, and whenever an Explosive Trap explodes it will throw Acid Flask. And then we use Acid Flask mainly for utility, for Armor Shred, and then for a bit of damage as well, since we're stacking fire damage anyway, and crit chance. It's a good chance to crit. There's a bit of damage, mostly for the Armor Shred really, mostly because I didn't really know what I would pick. And then we have Falcon. Similar setup to our Spear Falconer. We go for the marks and the attack speed, and then being able to spam Falcon Strike, because we don't really have anything else to do with our mana. And then we just go and buff up the Falcon's damage, get Culling Strikes, buff up this Falcon's damage, and that's it, and get mana back from Falcon Strikes. And in terms of skill setup, that's mostly it. In terms of passives, so this is what we have currently. And the attack speed, the glancing blow, damage reduction while moving, haste chance, mana gain. We go on to Blade Dancer to get the crouch chance, to cap out on our glancing blow chance, increase move speed and a bit of damage, mostly for the move speed, because we need the points to unlock this anyway. And here we're still dabbling. Maybe we'll put a point here because we can get 3 stacks of this every time we hit Cinder Strike, because each separate hit counts as of generating a stack of flow, so we'd be able to get this stacking melee attack speed buff. I will go through the planner later and check out how to do it at the end. Here we go for the usual, changed a little bit. We went for more dodge rating and health. Dexterity. This I only got 5. I didn't find any need to get it more because of all the fire penetration we're getting. And here, this is for spear only, so completely pointless. That's why I went there. We needed to use points somewhere so we could reach these nodes. Here we went dexterity, increased armor, increased rating, increased damage, and Falcon health gain on Falcon head. Falcon ability is instant. This is such a nice thing to have. It's a no-brainer. And here we go for glancing blow, because Jasper's does have a block chance modifier on it, so getting this means all the blocking chance on Jasper's will be converted to glancing blow. Then we go for crit chance and crit multi, and we get a bit of armor. I didn't over-invest into this because we don't stack as much dex as the spear build, so it's nice to have, but not as important. The increase 2% on Falcon hit is nice. That's why we get 4 points in. And here we get the damage reduction while moving, and dodge rating, move speed, yada yada yada. Okay, so I mentioned the glancing blow chance. As you can see, we have a 64% chance. It's already pretty high. Ideally, I remember right, the planner will be able to get this to 5, and then we'll have a couple of leftover points, which are probably gonna end up here. And okay, I think that's everything. Okay, idols and passives. Idols I still have it a bit up in the air. Currently we're using 2 crit damage multipliers. This with poison to cap out our poison res, and this with dodge rating if it recently. I kinda wanted more of these, because then it would just mean we'd be able to very easily cap out our endurance threshold, or HP. So if we had like 3 of these, we'd get 300 dodge. Since we already have a bunch of increase, those 300 are what, 600? Meaning we'd get 600 more on our endurance threshold. Almost close to full. Then with the Dusk Shrouds, would cap it out. Currently we are using health because our health was a bit low, along with some armor and health or resist, whatever you were missing. But the bits of armor is nice to have. And these are just things to help cap out our resists and health. Now blessings. Currently we are using the crit chance because we do not yet have crit cap. So we're only at 89. I would prefer to get this increased crit chance instead of going for the crit multi. Later on, if we can get enough crit chance, you go for the crit multi. Here all resists. Here endurance to help us cap out our endurance threshold, our endurance percent. And here we go for block chance. You can also go for armor percent. I just went block chance because we get more glancing blow chance. Always nice. But you can later on, depending on how you end up, you can change it to armor percent. It will also be good. Just depends on how your gear is. And here we have lightning resist. I just wanted to give you a full idea of what I had when we cleared Aberoth, right? Because this cleared Aberoth. Then we have the planner with the ideals and etc, etc. We'll go over it later. So, on the planner, as an aspirational endgame gear, this is what we'd want. We'd want the Jaspers with fire damage and critical strike chance. Well, if you can get one with 3LP, probably go for either crit multi, or if you wanted to, you could go for crit strike and critical strike chance, which would then open up the possibility of you getting more dexterity here and there. It would really depend on what kind of Jaspers you managed to find. We really do want the 18% crit chance, because that's what's gonna let us crit cap. That's really important. Everything else is just nice to have. Crit chance is the most important. Here we'd want the reduced bonus taken from critical strikes, and then health and intelligence. Ideally intelligence first. Because intelligence is gonna give us a buttload of damage, because every point of intelligence is 2% fire penetration, In this case, that's 48 fire penetration, which is a lot. And since that ends up being just another multiplier, you kind of want to invest into it. And the reason we prefer intelligence, and we don't care too much about crit multi, is because at this point, we already have 425 crit multi on the regular strikes and of Cinder Strike, and 500% on the first strike because of the passive points on the skill. Here, Bone Clamor, same thing, Intelligence, Dexterity. Dexterity is nice for dodge and increased damage, so we want that because we want our dodge to be with these two idols in effect. It would give us around 2k dodge, more or less, a bit more with the Dusk Shrouds, which means all our health would be covered at an endurance threshold. So we'd have a permanent 60% mitigation going on here. Foot of the Mountain, very important T7 movement speed. It just feels good to have movement speed on Foot of the Mountain, because you'll feel very slow if you don't have it. It also means more damage, increased damage for us, so yay. 8 intelligence, as per usual, more fire penetration, and reduced damage from crit strikes. As a rule of thumb, you'll want intelligence in everything you can slam intelligence into, which makes this a build that is a bit nightmarish to build, but has the potential of doing a lot of damage. Because you saw how much health and how much hint we had on our, and we were already doing a lot of damage. Imagine having a bit more, like double or triple what we had. Because here we are at 111, so that means 222 fire penetration, which is kind of a lot. 250. Our Cinder Strike would have 250% fire penetration. You can also do, well, I'll leave that for later. Here, gloves, you want to increase attack speed, because we will be lacking in attack speed, so we want as much as we can on the gloves. Then we want the leech, and then we want the crit bonus reduction. So with these three would be perfectly protected from crit strikes. Here you go for dodge, fire damage, you want some dodge, and you want increased health. The reason why you use this, the Viper Tail, is just so we have enough dodge, and also it gives us attack speed. The chance of poison and slow are nice to have, but are not mandatory. Would not be mandatory on this build. Siphons, a resist to your missing, intelligence, crit chance, and on Red Ring for the 10% mid, and 16 intelligence. This is a bit of a pipe dream, but yeah. If you can just get the Red Ring by itself, it should be good. The intelligence will just be a cherry on top. Here, these are all crit multipliers. And this one has Poison Res to help us cap out. If you can cap out Poison Res by 30, it's always nice because of Poison Shred. Which is very common whenever you're dealing with poisons. Poison by itself will shred. What else? Oh, there. Oracles, reduce damage over time taken, and increase fire damage, dodge rating, yada yada, and resists. Here resists health, Cinder Strike +4, that would be amazing. Especially, not just for the Cinder Strike, but also for the increased fire damage. Because we don't, if you look at it, we don't really have that much when it comes to increased. That's why we're rolling increased fire damage on Jaspers as well. As you can see, we only have 621. Not too much yet. Since we have none, makes the passives in Cinder Strike, this, better and better. And here, since this is a hit build, we'd want that 5. If we were going the ignite route, because we can, you'd go this way. Well, that's the ignite route is something that we go over. Well, this is the aspirational, the ideal. If you don't get a Titan Heart, you can very easily change it with a rogue's Gorgon Scale coat. Because of that 15% chance to receive a glancing blow. And then have block chance on rings, for example. You don't need to put in red rings, because ideally. And this setup would give you 100% glancing blow permanently. You wouldn't need dust shrouds, you didn't need anything. You'll just get 100% glancing blow all the time. Which is nice. Oh, we already went through the blessings. Let me just confirm. Yeah, ward. Because we didn't have anything better to put in there. Armor. Armor. Yeah, we could have went for the block chance here. Well, it's one of those things that you can... will depend on your taste at the end of the day. But the armor mid is just more reliable. Because it's there permanently, right? And these, the small ones, will be whatever resist you're missing. In this case, physical and just more dodge. And then 2 health, just to bring our health to 2.5k. Make us a bit tankier. To avoid one-shots. Although it's very difficult for us to get one-shot when we are in combat, because 60% endurance all over our health, along with Titans and Red Rings reduction. Okay. Alright, the passives I did mention we'd go. See, we have 2 leftover points, which I'm not too sure where we can go with them. Because we could shift some points and get more damage per slow. Since we have slow on our Viper Tail, that would be guaranteed increased damage. As we talked before, we could go with Blade Dancer, get points here. They put a point there on the on this one. But you could very easily remove 1, get 1 point there, or 2, each 2 leftover points. Very easily get that to get more attack speed. It's some things you can experiment with and whatnot. Now we're gonna go hit the dummy. We have a timer up there, so let's see how this goes, right? Oh, as per usual, as very similar to the spear one, you just spam Falcon Strike. Try not to overcap your mana. Go negative too much. It's nice to have the extra mana if you need to shift. Like that. And as you can see, we can almost get our full HP covered by endurance, just by virtue of stacking the dust crowds. As you can see, we're doing quite a bit of damage. I'm just trying to pay attention to the time. So about a minute, we have depleted 6%, 7% of the target dummy HP. So that's it. That's how the build plays. Nothing spectacular. Just very simple, easy to play, as most of our builds have been. As I've said before, this is an addendum, so to speak. You could make this build an ignite build because of these nodes. So you could change the build a bit and go towards more an ignite, especially because that would be double penetration for ignite. Then you could swap around a couple of items here and there and make it an ignite build instead of a hit build. Here you could go for the unique, rogue unique. I cannot remember the name of, so we're gonna go into the stash and check. Relic. There we go. Kelton's Blasting Agent. You could just grab this. It's 114% increased ignite duration and 13% fire penetration. Increased fire damage and chance to ignite. So yeah, you can get a good roll on this. Just pour it on those and you'll get a lot of ignite damage out of it. Especially because in Jasper Searing Pride will give you a sacking chance of melee ignite. I mean, you saw it during the video. There's a lot. We can sack a lot of ignite with this, even without focusing on it. As you can see, we can hit 100 without much sweat. And the Jasper's buff is still stacking. Okay, now it's stabilized. You can see where it can hit 130. That ignite damage is no joke, after all. But yeah, you can focus more towards the ignite. Change that crit strike chance priority into ignite or fire damage. Because the end would also apply for the ignite for the fire penetration for ignite. They could swap around stuff and go more towards ignite. And odds are it would probably work. I just don't know how you deal with the least to keep yourself alive. But well, I'm not good at ignite at dot builds. I'm still figuring them out, so that's why I'm not giving you a build for it. I'm just leaving it up into the air for you to experiment if you want to, because there is a lot of potential here, especially with these two nodes that you can give more fire damage over time per dexterity. So that's 6% for dexterity. You get 4% per point of dexterity plus 6% for dot per point of dexterity. So it ends up being 10% increased damage on your ignites. So one thing to think about. It also gets some specific bonus for ignite, like that one, and there's also this one, where the first attack ignite duration, the stack will have an additional ignite duration. So there's an ignite build here as well. So if you want, you can try an experiment, because if you go ignite, you can just ignore these 6 points and redistribute them here and here, for example, because you have enough, and you'd have 100% chance of ignite with a 50% more ignite duration or on the first attack. So yeah, that's a possibility. Just wanted to leave it there. Alright. Okay, so as per usual, we're gonna do a 445 corruption echo. So let's go. Oh goody, we got a bird echo. Gonna be spicy. I'm not even gonna give them a chance to do too much. As you can see, there is absolutely no issue when it comes to our damage. You don't even need a Falcon to clear out most of the things over here. Falcon is just nice extra damage. Not fire penetration. Because we do not yet have crit cap, but we are pretty close to it, so we're doing a lot of damage already. Dude.
That was close.
Remember to try and stand still. Don't move around too much, so you can get how our endurance working. It's very easy for us to get killed. And outside of our endurance. Not if we're moving. If we're moving, we still have some damage mitigation going. Might also still dabbling, because there is a possibility of using the... I don't remember the name of the thing. But the unique chest that drops from Argentus. Because it gives us 160% fire damage and 2+2 to Cinder Strike, which is nice.